You might be nailing your training, you might even be eating well, but if your physique isn't changing, you're likely making one of these 5 mistakes without even realizing. So in today's video, we're gonna run over those 5 mistakes so you can fix them and start progressing right away. Mistake number 1, and I think it's the one advanced trainees make the most, including myself, I've done it for a few years there, and that is micronutrient deficiency. So especially with things like if it fits your macros, people only worrying about hitting their calories and protein, which is great, but then they often neglect the micronutrient side. This makes them low in things like potassium, magnesium, iron, vitamin B, and all these things, they obviously help us function in our day-to-day life the best, but it makes our training sessions, our pumps, our energy throughout the day, all these things, even sleep, hormones, and makes them all a lot worse. So the fix is pretty simple here. You wanna make sure you get a couple pieces of fruit in, a couple pieces of veggies in each day, try and salt your food a little bit extra, and then focus on having some more whole foods like eggs, meat, even dairy and stuff. If you can do all those things, the micronutrient deficiency isn't gonna be a problem. Just make sure even when you are eating healthy that you don't just eat the same things every single day, because you're still gonna get deficient in things. So make sure you're switching up your meals each day, and this one won't be a problem. So mistake 2, something I also done a lot, is weekend blowouts. So I feel like this one's got pretty big too, because people are really fixated on their weekly total calories, which is good if you're looking for weight loss, not fat loss, weight loss. Because if we're looking at fat loss, you want to focus on a lot more other things than just your total calories. Now, people are usually Monday to Friday, really good, probably in a deficit, decent deficit leading into the weekend, and the weekend they have their blowouts. Now, why this is bad for fat loss, for physique development, is because on them weekends you're usually just eating a bunch of crap anyway. So the weekend your energy is going to be all over the place, your hormones are going to be all over the place, your sleep, etc. All that is going to be crap. But then through the weekdays, you're starving yourself, your workouts aren't going to be as good there, and you're just basically starting from behind every single day. So what we want is just keep things a little bit more regulated throughout the week. Try and eat a bit more through the weekdays. Weekends, again, eat a bit more. Just keep things more consistent. Don't just go here and then all of a sudden here, then all the way down here. You just want to make sure things are a little bit more consistent. That way you're not going to run into deficiencies, send your hormones, sleep, everything all out the window on the weekend. And through the weekdays, you can actually fuel your performance and recovery. So if you want real fat loss, muscle growth, and your physique to look good, focus on being a little bit more consistent, not just blowing up some days and the others making up for it, starving yourself. Mistake 3 is the wrong macro split breakdown. So I feel like a lot of people either go really low in fat, then they stuff up their hormones, or they go really high in fat and they don't fuel themselves with carbohydrates. Now, when we look at the macros, we want to have our protein set at least 1.6 grams per kilo of body weight, at least, to maximize muscle growth. Then with fat, we want a minimum of 0.8 grams, maybe 0.6 grams of fat per kilo of body weight. But if you are going that low end, you want to make sure it's really a lot of them healthy fats, omega-3s. Don't focus all your fats on them omega-6s, processed foods. And then the carbohydrates, we obviously just want enough to fuel our performance. So if you set your protein and fat first, make sure you have enough calories left for the carbohydrates. I have made videos on this in the past if you do want to have a look at them. So make sure you have the right macro split breakdown, and it's going to push you towards your fitness goals. If you do want a little bit more help with that, my coaching link is in the description. Mistake 4, and again, it's a really big one, it's underfueling your training. So people are really scared of carbohydrates. They get demonized a lot nowadays, but they're not our enemy, they're our friend. So when it comes to carbohydrates, make sure you have a good amount in your diet, especially before and after training. And it's even more important if you're training more than once a day. So we want them before so we can perform in the gym, lift the most reps and weights as possible, put our best performances out there so we can actually perform to get better. And then we obviously want them afterwards so we can get that recovery process started, refill our glycogen stores and get the nutrients into our body. So if you don't have carbohydrates, you're probably going to be training like crap, and you might even get used to it so you won't realize how bad you're actually performing. There's a reason athletes carb load, like I'm doing myself, before competitions. They're so important. You want to have the carbs in the body so you can perform your best. So if you have goals in fitness, which I'm sure you do if you're watching this, make sure you get your carbohydrates in so you can perform and progress your best. Mistake 5, and we've sort of touched on a little bit throughout, it's inconsistent eating patterns. So we want to make sure that we're eating equally throughout the day. We're not just having all our calories at one time. especially if that time's not around our gym and that, because if we don't have it around the gym, like I said before, we're not going to perform. So you want to make sure you have a little bit more consistency with your food timing. So try and split the meals up throughout the day to not only maximize that muscle growth, recovery, but also our energy levels and, like I said, performance in the gym. Now, what's also important here is the amount of food we're having. You don't want to have 300 calories at breakfast time, then 1,000 at dinner time, and then 1,000 after dinner. You want to make sure you split it up a little bit better. Yes, maybe breakfast might be a little bit bigger if you like it bigger in the morning, but you don't want large discrepancies, because what's going to happen here is that energy levels are going to be all over the place. And the same goes with the macronutrients. If we're having all our carbohydrates in the morning time, none at night time, you might struggle sleeping, going to sleep, you're going to feel hungrier. So you want to make sure that your calories, macros, your timing, they're all a little bit more consistent to make sure you can perform at your best inside and outside the gym. So there's some of the most common diet mistakes that I see, and if you just make them one of those and fix them, you're going to notice a difference, and you're going to be well on the way to hitting your fitness goals. So if you did like today's video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more, and if you do want a little bit more deeper help on that stuff, my coaching link's in the description. But thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.